It is December 29th, 2016, and a good friend of mine over in Portugal, Carlos, has just captured what seems to be either a very large fireball coming out of the sky, and this was recorded yesterday at approximately 5 p.m., coming out of the sky, headed due south, I believe. And this video footage that you're about to see matches video footage that came out of Bordeaux, France a week ago, sent in by one of my subscribers. And we're also matching it up to video footage that Planet X investigator Dave Dobbs has been accumulating for the past few years. And Dave has actually produced a flyby model of Planet X, Nibiru, Nemesis, and he has also documented on video a multitude of these so-called flybys, if that's what you want to call them. So let's just get straight into the information, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you Carlos's video footage because it is absolutely amazing. Now I'm going to go ahead and replay this video so you can clearly see he was taking this video footage with his telescope, and at the time he was not expecting this to come out of the sky. Now, I had a short conversation with Carlos, and he said that he was trying to capture some telescopic photographs of the southwest star or southwest object that everyone has been seeing in the sky, that the debunkers and naysayers are claiming that it's Venus, but we clearly know that it's not Venus. However, when Carlos was videotaping this, he immediately grabbed his cell phone, stuck it up to the eyepiece of the telescope, and was able to capture this footage. Now, you can clearly see, I'm just going to go ahead and stop the footage right there, because there are going to be the naysayers and the trolls that will say that is just an airplane leaving a contrail illuminated by the sun. Well, just like the video footage from Bordeaux, France, which I'm going to show you, this is not an airplane. That is not a contrail. And the possibilities of this being another flyby as we get closer to an exodus of Nemesis, Planet X, whatever name you want to call it. Bottom line is, people, there is something in our solar system. I believe it's getting closer and closer as the weeks and the months go by. It's going to perform its exodus. It's clearly stated in the Bible, folks. I've done my research. I've interviewed and spoken with Gil Broussard and many others. And the fact of the matter is, what millions of people are now seeing in the skies is our evidence. We don't need scientists to tell us what we're seeing is real or fake, because we're seeing it with our own eyes. So what you're seeing there is not an airplane. So let's just go ahead and review more of the footage. And it's absolutely incredible. And like Carlos told me, it caught him by surprise because he was not expecting this to just appear out of the sky. And this was approximately 5 p.m. in the afternoon in Portugal. And I do believe he said this came out of the sky and was heading due south. Now, since we've seen Carlos's footage, and it is quite amazing, I want to go ahead and I want to flip over to a video produced by Dave Dobbs. And Dave Dobbs has been investigating and researching Planet X, Nemesis, and Nibiru for quite some time. He's done a great job putting together a model of these flybys and possibly the orbital path of Nemesis and Nibiru orbiting our sun and Nemesis. So I'm just going to go ahead and play this video. I'll give everybody a link to it.
And it all started getting quite curious, and I was seeing this really quite.
And you could listen very closely.
Of course, we come round in the cycle to the next point, which is the 22nd of December, and we have these two sightings. So this is an amazing shot. It was either on the 19th or the 20th of December 2015, 2 days before our 200-day window. And, I wondered what the tail was made of. And, what I'm thinking now is because the way it orbits around this thing but gets very close to the sun each time it does a cycle, I'm of a mind that the surface is actually getting vaporised by the heat of our sun as it's flying on through. I don't think this is ice. I don't think this is a comet. I think this is a planet, and the surface is literally leaving a trail of everything that's coming from this. That is the vapor trail. And then this 4 days later.
Holy moly. That's no freaking airplane. December 24th, 2015. Central Indiana. This is Becky Lewis. Oh my freaking God. Are you kidding me? Let me tell you, that is no freaking airplane. That's in the southeast, where I always get the red glow.
Now, this young lady, Becky Lewis, was able to capture this flyby, and she did an absolutely amazing job. And again, this basically came out of nowhere. It was very startling. Thank God she had a video camera, did a fantastic job videotaping this flyby. Now, as Dave has put all of these videotaped sightings and dates together in his model, he was able to calculate when the next flybys were going to occur. And he was coming within very close proximity of these dates at approximately 180, 188 days, sometimes 200 days, but they were all very, very close, which enabled him to actually watch for the flybys. And now that we've possibly seen one in France, Bordeaux, France, a week and a half ago, I checked on the footage from Bordeaux, France, and there were 2 sightings that were listed with the American Meteor Society, and they're documented. And I'm going to show you, and I'll leave links to this information so you can check it out for yourself. But let's continue with this video.
Holy God. Shit, I can't even hold it still. Please, excuse my language. Oh my gosh. I am just tripping out. What the frick? Oh my freaking gosh. Friends, it is going to go behind that stuff and I won't be able to see it anymore. Oh my gosh.
And of course, here's where we've had the big sighting that's changed everything. This is on the 28th of March 2016. Now, this was a day before I made my, or a day after I made my last video saying that we were coming to the 100-day point in the 200-day cycle. So we were basically 100 days. We were right in between the 22nd of December 2015 and the 11th of July 2016. So Becky Lewis filmed this on that day, and this is filmed at sunset, so it looks like it's heading in the same direction, except that note that she's filming this at sunset, not sunrise. So you've got a picture that she's looking out at the same kind of thing, but she's upside down from where she was at sunrise when she first filmed it on the 24th of December 2015, 100 days before. So you're getting the reverse thing. So what this actually means is we're seeing Nibiru and another planet that's obviously orbiting Nemesis. We're seeing these planets for the first time on the far side of their cycle, which means it's passed clean through the ecliptic. Because we haven't been able to see these because they've been too close to the sun, and suddenly on this side they're not close to the sun anymore. So it means it's dropped through the southern hemisphere of our solar system and is heading out from whence it came. It's absolutely clear evidence. We've been waiting for that 100-day appearance at some point throughout this cycle. We know, unless it's just going to continue to orbit our sun, but if it begins an exit out, then we understand that it's finally come through to the southern hemisphere of our solar system. Note that there's 2 things that are 2 comets, asteroids, whatever you want to call them. To me, they're just 2 planets orbiting Nemesis, Nibiru and something else. And we saw it in February 2012, and we're seeing it again here in 2016. So I'm just assuming that we're getting to learn about another orbit around Nemesis that only shows itself periodically. We've definitely got the 200-day orbit of whatever that is, but we're getting something else there as well that's also coming up every occasionally. But it's very clear, they're both obviously clearly orbiting the same thing, and they're both coming to view only rarely, but Nibiru has a distinct 200-day orbit, whatever that is Nibiru. Okay, and pretty much hereafter, we're in prediction now, aren't we? We come to July the 11th, which is the next highest point in the cycle that we've understood it, but we're starting to see a big change because of our previous sighting where we've seen Nibiru plunge through the southern aspect of our solar system. We've learnt so much more about its position in that moment that, everything I did with Channel 4, we hadn't had that sighting yet, so it was still unclear. Had we missed it, or had it happened? It's happened, it's come through. So now we can only predict that this is the final big passing point. I mean, I don't truly know the angle, the trajectory. It could be that it's more like this, and which could potentially give it a later time. We're talking days and weeks, more than months here, a difference. But at this point, we've got a juncture around about December, January. It could be earlier. I truly do not know its position. I'm desperately trying to calculate it on a very limited amount of sightings and information. I built.
Now, what Dave just said was, according to his calculations with his model, the next flyby would be in December of 2016. Now, not giving a precise date in December, possibly early January of 2017, but let's just take a look at the video that was sent in to me, and this is my video from one of my subscribers from Bordeaux, France. And the same thing, same time as what Carlos just videotaped yesterday in Portugal. And this object came out of the sky, heading due south, right over the Bay of Biscay. There were 2 sightings listed as fireballs. And matter of fact, let's see those. Here are the listings. This is one listing up here. I think that is La Rochelle. And here is Bordeaux, where my subscriber was located. Here is the Bay of Biscay, and the other sighting was a little south. So these are being recorded. There's no doubt about it. But let's take a look at the video footage that was captured in France. And this gentleman stated that he just stepped out of his apartment, happened to look up in the sky, and there it was. Now, folks, once again, these are not illuminated contrails from an airplane. Now, if that was an airplane, it would be doing a nosedive directly into the Bay of Biscay. And you can clearly see that these video footages are all starting to match up with everything that Dave Dobbs has documented over the past few years. So I'm trying to bring you credible evidence, and I'm trying to show you that, yes, definitely, there is something going on within our solar system. Yes, we do need more scientific information. But the bottom line is, this solid scientific evidence and information, well, it's only going to come from a worldly space agency that has this massive technology to show us. And to show us the data and show us everything that they have put together over the years, over the past 20 or 25 years, because they have been documenting this. Let's not be fooled by this. They've been watching this since 1983. I believe it was in 1993 or 94 that it was imaged on IRS. Some will say, oh, that has been debunked, blah, blah, blah. Well, the bottom line is I've never seen any evidence of that being debunked. But then again, anything that does come from NASA just seems to be a pack of lies. They only want to give you little tidbits of information about their little space programs. Well, each and every one of their space programs, they have ulterior motives for these space programs. That's a fact. So what Carlos has just captured on his telescope yesterday in Portugal, all of this video footage coincides with Dave Dobbs' research, all of the videos that he has put together, and including his timeline and his model. And I think he's done a fantastic job. So once again, this was a fireball, possible Nibiru Planet X flyby over Portugal yesterday, and the date might have been somewhere around December 27th, 2016. Absolutely incredible footage from Carlos. He did a great job. He has sent me other fantastic photographs that have been incredible. But once again, let's just stop it. Does anyone see an airplane? Do you see an airplane anywhere in that picture? I don't. Maybe if you have some type of magical computer monitor or your cell phone translates that into a jet airplane. If it does, hey, send me a screenshot. I'd love to see it. Bottom line is, we're starting to see these flybys. I think we're going to start to see a lot more in the skies in the days and the weeks to come. All I ask is that you keep an open mind, pay very close attention to the information that we're trying to get out there to you, and don't listen to these people that tell you that there is nothing happening. Because as you can clearly see, there is something going on. We're trying to find out. It's not that easy. You tend to devote a lot of hours of your life, days, weeks, years, to trying to find out what they're hiding. The fact of the matter is, they're damn good at hiding these things. And you know that all of these worldly governments are very good at hiding, keeping their secrets. They have their own agenda. We've known that for a very, very long time. All I'm asking, stay tuned, keep an open mind, and hey, keep your camera, your cell phone, your video camera handy. If you see something that looks abnormal, get that video camera out, get that cell phone out, pick up that camera, point it to the sky, zoom in, and try to take the closest and clearest photograph that you possibly can. Stay tuned, everybody, because I believe there will be more to come. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Nibiru channel. It is December 29th, 2016, and a good friend of mine over in Portugal, Carlos, has just captured what seems to be either a very large fireball coming out of the sky, and this was recorded yesterday at approximately 5 p.m., coming out of the sky, headed due south, I believe. And this video footage that you're about to see matches video footage that came out of Bordeaux, France a week ago, sent in by one of my subscribers. And we're also matching it up to video footage that Planet X investigator Dave Dobbs has been accumulating for the past few years. And Dave has actually produced a flyby model of Planet X, Nibiru, Nemesis, and he has also documented on video a multitude of these so-called flybys, if that's what you want to call them. So let's just get straight into the information, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you Carlos's video footage because it is absolutely amazing. Now I'm going to go ahead and replay this video so you can clearly see he was taking this video footage with his telescope And at the time, he was not expecting this to come out of the sky. I had a short conversation with Carlos, and he said that he was trying to capture some telescopic photographs of the southwest star or southwest object that everyone has been seeing in the sky, that the debunkers and naysayers are claiming that it's Venus, but we clearly know that it's not Venus. However, when Carlos was videotaping this, he immediately grabbed his cell phone, stuck it up to the eyepiece of the telescope, and was able to capture this footage. Now, you can clearly see, I'm just going to go ahead and stop the footage right there, because there are going to be the naysayers and the trolls that will say that is just an airplane leaving a contrail illuminated by the sun. Well, just like the video footage from Bordeaux, France, which I'm going to show you, this is not an airplane, and that is not a contrail, and the